Welcome to Motivation and Momentum, the podcast that takes the heartbeat of Monongalia County Schools. We are in the third of a four-part series where we're looking at our academic content areas. I'm Amber Nichols, your host, and I am honored to be joined with Becky Berry, our social studies specialist. We're going to dig into all things social studies, so sit back and relax, and I'm looking forward to this conversation. Thank you for coming today.
Thanks for having me today,
Awesome.
Amber.
Well, I want to jump in and do a little bit of a this or that.
Okay.
You didn't prepare for this one.
No.
So I'm just going to throw out some social studies things. You say the
Okay.
first thing that comes to your mind.
All right.
All right, you ready? Okay. Ancient civilizations or modern history?
Ooh, ancient world
Ooh, okay.
history, and colonial American.
Nice.
So that was a not this or that. It was an either.
That's okay. Debate or document analysis?
Document analysis.
West Virginia history hike or a virtual museum tour?
Ooh, I think a hike on waterfalls.
You get a little bit of both
Yes.
there, right? Okay. Primary sources or podcasts?
Primary sources.
Very nice. Map skills or timelines?
Oh, map skills.
How about U.S. Constitution or Bill of Rights?
Oh.
It's a good one.
How about the history of the formation of the Constitution?
I love how you're taking these and running with it. World Wars or the Cold War?
Ooh. Well, if you like World War II, you set up the Cold War.
So you're getting a little bit of both.
Yeah.
You're really changing this or that for me.
I am.
Teaching civics or teaching geography?
Geography, all
Okay.
day.
And last part, what is your favorite part of West Virginia history?
My favorite part is mine wars and labor history.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a fun little way to get started.
I love it.
So tell us about, you've played such a key role in this new social studies textbook adoption that we have gone on. Can you walk us through what made this adoption unique and how do you see it impacting the classroom?
Sure. Well, we're excited because it used to be 7 years before we can pick new instructional materials. So this is our 7th year, and it seems like if you study history, everything's old, you don't need new materials, but there's always new facts and there's always new ways to present it, always new things that come to light. So it's been really fun to work with all the teachers. We had a committee that was formed from middle school to high school. All of the schools were represented, and we really just brainstormed what our wish list would be. And in a perfect world, what we would love to adopt to use as a tool to teach students. And from that wish list, then we dug into our new standards. Some of them aren't changed drastically, but some of them have changed.
Okay.
So we married those wishes with our standards and came up with a scoring rubric, and then we're able to look at a variety of resources that people had shared, publishers had shared, and I think we came up with good programs through 6 through 12. I'm excited. It's been a while since we looked at online materials. They have so many new advancements and so much more engaging resources for students that I'm excited to see them implemented.
Well, and knowing you and knowing just how great at social studies content you are, that must have been just an exciting time for you to dig in and to look at all of the things.
For sure. And normally you don't get to teach 6 through 12, so it was exciting to look at all the grades and all the offerings.
So tell us a little bit about you and what brought you to this specific role, like maybe your journey through teaching.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I started just a few years ago, but I started actually in the old Westover Junior High.
Oh, wow.
And of course, as a history lover, that was the African American high school here in Mon County. So I worked there, and from there I kind of was transferred around a little bit and did some time at Suncrest and South Middle School and University High, and then Morgantown High was my last placement. But it was a great opportunity because I've taught really grades 7th through 12 and really fell in love with teaching AP, and in particular AP US history in the past few years.
So you've had a great journey to lead you to this specific role, which is what? Can you tell us a little bit about what your role
Sure,
is?
social studies specialist. So
Okay.
I've enjoyed seeing great things in the county and great teaching, great instruction, and of course great students that we have. But I'm here to support teachers and find resources or locate resources. Sometimes we'll do, if teachers are doing group work, I'll sit and man a station or, man a group or just, really an extra hands in the classroom. I can model lessons, we lead professional development, and really just have a great time seeing the great things going on in our county.
It sounds like a dream role.
It has been. It has been.
That's awesome. So you do anything from 6 to 12. So you've got all of the APs and all of the different histories. How do you approach supporting teachers when you're looking at such a wide range? I mean, 6th grade to AP.
To
how
AP.
do you do that?
So here's the thing, right? When we took history, a lot of people said that was my worst subject. I hated it because chances are, if you're a little bit older, you learned history one darn thing after the other.
True.
And it wasn't really exciting. Sometimes they were good stories or good storytellers, but really it just seemed like it went on and dates and names. We've changed how we teach social studies, and really it's become a skills-based class.
Okay.
So we're looking at continuity and change and causation and comparisons. So those skills really make all of those stories make a lot more meaning for students. But the cool thing about the West Virginia standards is that there are 4 pillars of them. No matter if it's grades 6 through 12, there's history standards, there's economic standards, civic standards, and geography standards. And those spiral and build from year to year. So students who probably don't know that much geography coming into 6th grade or a lot about history really get to practice those pillars with the skills by the end of their 12th grade year.
I love that. I love the way that it's grouped, and that does make the continuity just flow a lot better for our students. So I can see where that could really lean into your role and help in the work that you do.
Sure.
So West Virginia Studies is a cornerstone for our middle schoolers. What are some exciting ways, and we have such great teachers, we need to preface that.
Oh,
what
my goodness.
What are the ways that you're seeing West Virginia history come alive in our schools?
We have great social studies teachers. We have great teachers, right, in the whole county. But I think those West Virginia Studies teachers take it up a notch, and they are so passionate about our state and about teaching the history of our state and having kids who are proud to stay here. So
you just gave me chills.
They're so great.
Yeah.
But there's all kinds of things that I've seen our teachers do throughout the county, from doing ghost stories and cryptids. You know, some of them, of course, take virtual field trips or real field trips. The big competition with the Golden Horseshoe State, with the state test, of course, is always fun. But kids like to see themselves in history. So it's a class that I think is really fun to teach. The teachers who teach it have a great passion for it. And even our state has kind of picked it up a little bit. And they have the Governor's Summer Institute for Tourism.
Oh, wow.
So now, I want to say it's grades 8, 9, or 9 and 10 who get to apply and then go all throughout the state to just see what our state has to offer. So it's definitely a program that has built and I think continues to grow strong. We want our students to stay here and to become, you know, active citizens in West Virginia, and that class certainly helps.
So in today's world, social studies is more important now than ever. How do you keep motivation and momentum going in classrooms when you're tackling those tough or sometimes complex, you know, historical events?
It's the best time, right?
Yeah.
Because students have access to information on their phones, on their Chromebooks, anytime you turn on the TV. And really that's where social studies is essential, right? When they see a news story, they need to quickly assess, is it real? Is it fake? I know fake news kind of gets a bad rap, but students need to assess really quickly, is it a valid source? Is it truthful? Are they bending the truth? Is it biased? And those are things we practice in all the social studies classes, looking at primary and secondary sources. It really comes to light then in that civics class, their senior year, because we're producing students who are going to become active citizens. So I think it's easier now than ever to keep them engaged in social studies, because it's so controversial that I think they want to know a little bit more about it.
That's a great perspective. So what are the reasons to celebrate social studies here in Montgomery County? I know we have a lot, and I love your energy is just contagious when it comes to social studies. So let's talk celebration.
Okay, so one, we had a lot of state winners in our Golden Horseshoe.
Yes, we did.
They were just recognized at our board meeting. We have active History Bowl student participation in middle school and high school. And at Morgantown High, they ended up 21st in the nation this year, which is amazing. And it gets real exciting when they're seniors. Our civics teachers get them registered to vote and go to vote with them. I don't think there's anything else that shows success in students who want to participate in government and really part of an American citizen. Those are all great successes. Great teaching, a lot of engaged classrooms that are really excited to learn maybe things they might not have thought they really liked, ancient civilizations or colonial times, but really just seeing that they really do see themselves in history, and today kind of how we are all part of it.
I love that. We can celebrate the wins, but when we're talking about good teaching and engaged students, I don't think there's anything better to celebrate than that.
Correct.
Thank you so much for this conversation.
Thanks. Thank you.
I love talking social studies with you.
Thanks.
You can come on anytime you'd like. Thank you for what you do for our kids and for our county, for our teachers. You know, this is an important task that you have, and you do a great job with it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for watching this episode of Motivation and Momentum, the third part in a 4-part series where we're looking at all of our content areas. Join me next time when we talk science. Until then, keep that motivation and momentum going here in Monongalia County, because our students deserve it.